Blacklist Hunter here, and today we're going to talk about Kurapika and specifically the Kurta clan. We know that the sole reason that Kurapika wanted to become a Blacklist Hunter was so he could capture the notorious Phantom Troupe, because this band of criminals were the ones that executed his whole clan, the Kurta. In Hunter x Hunter chapter 2, Kurapika revealed that 4 years prior of the Hunter exam, the infamous gang of robbers ended all his brethren, and the captain of the ship stated that the Phantom Troupe is a A-class bounty and that even the most skilled hunters think twice before taking action against the spiders, and those few who have tried to mess with the Phantom Troupe have failed and ultimately died. And Kurapika's answer is that he doesn't fear death at all, but that his rage will fade with time. In Kurapika's backstory, we learn many things about the Kurta clan. First, the Kurta clan had around 128 members, and only a special few possessed the Scarlet Eyes, about 38 members. The Kurta people lived deep into the forest in a place around the province called Luxo, and the sole reason why they were cut off from civilization was that the Scarlet Eyes were considered as one of the world's most beautiful colors and were extremely rare. A Kurta's member's eyes turn scarlet only when they are in an excited or furious state of mind. So if a Kurta member was out and about interacting with people and the eyes were to suddenly turn red, it would make people scared and they would normally call them devils. If these rare eyes and the clan became more well known amongst people, this would lure in many criminals and evil people who would try to collect the eyes for profit so they could sell them. In the Kurta's backstory, we see a younger Kurapika repeatedly asking the clan leader, who is this old gentleman, to allow him to see the outside world. Basically, Kurapika wanted permission to get out of the forest where he has been all his life and step into the outer world, which was a mystery for him. So Kurapika asked the elder daily to give him permission, but he was too young and could only get the approval when he was older. Kurapika goes on to say that he has never seen the outside world and that if a clan member tried to do so, that is regarded as a huge sin, and there is also punishment for that. But of course, this is the case only if you do it without taking permission from the leader, from the elder. Next, we are introduced to Pyro, and he was Kurapika's best friend. But the sad fact was that Pyro was getting sicker by each day. His eyesight and physical strength was deteriorating by every passing day. And Pyro had the same dream as Kurapika, someday to go out to the outside world. And we see Pyro talking with Kurapika and telling him that the Kurta clan people are the only ones in the entire world whose eyes turn scarlet, and that the outside people bully and discriminate the people different from them, meaning the Kurta, so only a selected few adults who could keep the clan's secrets were allowed to go outside. At some point, Kurapika and Pyro found in the woods a girl named Sheila who was almost passing out due to thirst, and they helped her by giving her fresh water from the river. To thank them for their help, Sheila gave Kurapika and Pyro a book with a specific hunter's adventures. But Kurapika and Pyro didn't know Sheila's language as she was an outsider, so he only communicated with her due to using a dictionary from the village. Sheila was a girl who aspired to become a hunter in the future, and this book which she gave Kurapika and Pyro, they read it so much and became immersed and interested by the wonderful adventure that was described in it. So Sheila eventually left and she wrote a letter thanking them and specifying that she hoped they would perhaps meet in the outside world in the future. Kurapika then hid the book, but the elder found it, so he asked the Gramps to give it back, but he refused as he stated that this book contained fantasy of the outside world and that it was harmful for Kurapika to read it. Then Kurapika begged the elder to let him take the test, as the hunter who had written the book had stated that you have to overcome the obstacles in life and live the best life you can. We are next also introduced to Kurapika's parents, and we see his mother, whom she states that at some point people were hating on the Kurta and going as far as even hunting them. The outside world people regarded the Kurta as the devil's messengers due to their crimson's eyes, and Kurapika's parents, especially his mother, was supportive of him and his dreams of breaking the taboo and going into the outside world. After Kurapika finished studying, the clan leader declared declared 3 tests in order for him to pass. The first one was the language exam, learning the official outside people's tongue, which Kurapika passed with a perfect score at a level even better than the teacher. The second test was a general knowledge of people's customs, a test which Kurapika aced as he had become very knowledgeable, and the final test was that he would be able to achieve self-control outside and not activate his colored eyes no matter what. And the elder goes on to say that in the past the Kurta were viewed with prejudice, discrimination, and even confronted in battle. Then the elder gives Kurapika eye drops that he must apply, and these eye drops made possible that if Kurapika's eyes turned scarlet in the next 24 hours, the eyes would remain scarlet, so the elder would know when Kurapika arrived home. So next, Kurapika is given permission by the elder to go in a nearby town and buy goods and food for the village, and he is allowed to pick a partner. So Kurapika chose his best friend Pyro, but the tricky part was that if Pyro's eyes turned scarlet, Kurapika would lose the test as well. Kurapika chose Pyro as he stated that even if he fails the test, he won't regret it as long as it's with his best friend Pyro. So then they both apply the eye drops, and so Kurapika and Pyro head for the nearest city in a chicken in a beautiful creature. Kurapika also reveals that the sole reason that Pyro got sick was because of him. Sometime in the past, Pyro tried to save him from falling off a cliff and they both fell, but Pyro got a trauma which left him with consequences. So Kurapika's dream was to find a cure for Pyro, a doctor who would get him healthy again. They arrived in the town and both Kurapika and Pyro were excited to see all this new world in front of them. So during the shopping, somebody bumps into Pyro and poor Pyro is on the ground, and these wannabe bullies demand from him the money for tainting the shirt with ice cream. So the little Pyro gives them his jar with pennies, but they laugh it off and even throw it away, and this made Kurapika angry, but ultimately they both apologize and even get help from nearby people, especially from a nice old lady, and the bullies go away due to pressure from the people. So after Kurapika and Pyro finish shopping, the bullies block their path and demand money from them, and they go as far as stripping Pyro, and I gotta say Pyro is a really great guy and I hate the fourth prince with all my heart. The final push that ticked off Kurapika, even though he was almost clear in the test, was that the bullies said to him that Pyro is disabled and he feels sorry for Kurapika having to take care of such a person. Kurapika then becomes extremely angry and his eyes turn scarlet, and he beats all 3 bullies without mercy, not stopping for a second. Kurapika is then stopped by Pyro, but the bullies reveal that the old man, the elder, had paid them before to say and mess with Kurapika and the little Pyro. So they were paid to make them angry by the old elder. So the bullies, all frightened, are then asked by Pyro to call the old man and tell him that they couldn't get Kurapika and him angry. Then the people from before who helped Pyro and Kurapika proceed to call them the devil's messengers, especially the old lady. So when Kurapika and Pyro hop on the chicken and they are going home, they have a little discussion, and Pyro reveals that the scarlet eyes give the user a tremendous strength boost, and putting that strength into action before the people really scares them. So Kurapika thought he had failed the test and that he doesn't belong into the outside world. Then he is asked to look in the mirror by Pyro, and he sees that the eyes are back to normal and they are not in scarlet mode. The special eye drops which were applied by Elder's request were switched by Pyro with normal water drops when he dropped them deliberately, acting as if he had dropped them by accident. So Kurapika's eyes didn't remain scarlet and they returned to normal, all thanks to Pyro's cleverness as he switched the eye drops. Kurapika is then ultimately granted permission by the elder to leave for the outside world for a unspecified time. So Kurapika then swears to Pyro that he will find a cure for him and a doctor, and the sweet Pyro tells him that he is happy that Kurapika cares about him and wants to cure him, but first and foremost he wants him to remember the adventures in the book. He wants Kurapika's goal to be to enjoy his trip, to have fun. So the question which Pyro would ask Kurapika when he would return was that was it fun? Was the adventure fun? So Kurapika departs and says goodbye to his family, the clan. This entire story is so beautiful and well written. Next, after 6 weeks of Kurapika's departure, the massacre took place. A traveler, a female, discovered all 128 corpses of the clan. They were ended with the most brutal ways. All this was done by the Phantom Troupe, and the acts committed were truly terrifying, and the final message that was left in the village was that we accept everything you leave, but don't ever take anything away from us. So we know that the founding members of the Phantom Troupe completely destroyed them, took their eyes and sold them, and there are many theories as well, of course, in the fan base, but I want to talk about that in another time. And I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoy these types of videos, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next Hunter x Hunter video.